Hey everyone, Ben here. Warren Buffett is arguably one of the greatest investors of all time, and he's recently released his statement with the SEC outlining the recent stocks he's been buying and selling. So in this video, we're going to dive into what this legendary investor has been buying and selling. Now, my personal investing style, I like to consider myself a combination between a value investor and a growth investor, although I have gained a massive amount of inspiration from the great Warren Buffett, so it'll be interesting to see which stocks he's been buying recently. Now, before we dive right into that, here's a little joke for everybody. Warren Buffett opened a restaurant and he called it Warren's Buffet. Right guys, sorry about that really bad joke. Let's get into it. If you're new around here, feel free to join the investing family by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on. If you're an existing subscriber, welcome back. Feel free to give this video a big thumbs up. That helps out tremendously with the YouTube AI. And if you do want to access exactly which stocks I've been buying, selling, and my entire investment portfolio, and join some of the finest people on the internet in our thriving VIP community, then check out that first link in the description below. And with that being said, let's dive in. So firstly, what is a 13F filing? Well, this is a form which must be filed with the SEC by investment firms with over $100 million of assets under management. So Warren Buffett falls well within this category. So diving into his latest trades here, I'm not going to just keep you guys in suspense. First, we're going to look at the stocks he's been adding. He's been increasing stakes in stocks, and we're going to look at some of the reductions, and then we're going to look at three main stocks he's actually bought. These are brand new stocks. So firstly, some of the increases Warren Buffett has done on certain positions. So we've got AbbVie here. So he added some of that position. His average price for that stock was $96 per share. The stock's currently up 10% from that point. Then we've got Bristol Myers Squibb. He's added to that position also. Average price he paid was $61 per share. That stock's currently down 1.69%. Full disclosure, I do own Bristol Myers Squibb also. Then we've got Kroger American Co., RH, T-Mobile, Bank of New York Mellon Corp., Apple. He's reduced his stake in Apple, so he does have a large position in Apple still, but he's reduced his stake in that company. So that's interesting to see there. I did actually mention about Apple a while back. They've been doing a lot of buybacks, which has caused their share price to rise massively. I do also have a small position in Apple, but not a large position. He's also reduced his stake in General Motors. He's reduced his stake in Suncor Energy. He's reduced his stake in Wells Fargo & Co. He's reduced his stake in US Bancorp, and this is from a few months back, but he's sold out of positions in Barrick Gold Corp, JP Morgan Chase, M&T Bank Corp, PNC Financial Services, and Pfizer. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of what Warren Buffett has been doing. Let's check out his brand new buys. So the three main ones I'm going to focus on are Chevron, Marsh & McLean Companies, and Verizon. So firstly, why is Warren Buffett invested into oil? Well, let's analyze Warren Buffett's style. Warren Buffett is a true value investor. He's also a contrarian investor. So he likes to observe the masses, he likes to observe the crowd, and then he likes to do the opposite. So I think he saw some value in oil stocks when everybody has been focused on green energy, on electric vehicle stocks. Everybody's forgot about oil. And I actually did a video on this many months ago, and I said, could oil be a contrarian play? Because everybody's talking about green energy stocks at the moment. Could oil be a contrarian play? Because we'll still need oil, at least in the next few years, in order to supply fuel for airplanes, vehicles, and many, many more application. Perhaps this was a value play. I did have a position in Shell a while back during the March crash. My position increased by around 70%, and then I sold out of that position. So I don't have any oil stocks at the moment, but I think this could be potentially be what Warren Buffett's thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. So diving into the share price here for Chevron, ticker symbol CVX. The company currently brings in around $146 billion in revenue each and every year, which is massive. So this has really got scale, this company has. The dividend yield, this is also another major reason why Warren Buffett may like Chevron at the moment, is 5.44%. So you're getting that consistent 5.4% each and every quarter or each and every year, which is great to see if you're an investor into Chevron. So as you can see here, the stock price fell off a cliff during March-April crash of 2020, which was the general market crash. This is when I did buy my oil stock Shell around this point here. And then it did rebound, by around 60-70%. I sold out there. And then Warren Buffett may have purchased again, I believe, around this point here. So we'll dive into exactly how much he paid approximately, shall I say. He paid around $84, so not that low really, probably about this point here. Warren Buffett got in on the decline, and then that is rebounding now, so he's up probably 35%, so he's not done too bad so far from this position in Chevron. So could be an interesting one to look at. Definitely if you want that dividend. I wouldn't hold it for 10 years, but potentially the next 5 years maximum, you could have a play on oil right there. Now, the oil prices are really going to govern how well this stock does. So what are oil prices controlled by? Well, that is supply, demand, and cost. So we've got a vast amount of supply from the US at the moment, also Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has some of the lowest costs to produce oil. So actually, oil price were around $60 a barrel. They fell off a cliff during the March 2020 and followed the stock price. It dropped down to $16 a barrel. For a barrel of oil, just $16 a barrel. And then, since then, it has increased and we're now back up to around $60 a barrel. So it seems to have recovered to pre-pandemic highs. And I think that's actually quite surprising given that travel hasn't fully reopened yet. But I think people are anticipating the reopening of travel. And as the stock market is forward looking, they're trying to get in there on this oil stock early. Previously in the past, though, if we check out the oil price over the past 5 years, we can see there has been a steady decline in the price of oil over time. Part of that has been driven by the US, their fracking operations. They've got a vast amount of oil at the moment. If anything, there's a lot more supply than there is demand at the moment for oil. And that's why we're seeing this decrease in oil price over the period. But it has recovered to pre-pandemic highs. So it might be an interesting play. Also, Saudi Arabia has recently reported to raise oil output amid recovery and prices. So Saudi Arabia is one of the major oil suppliers with Saudi Aramco, which is actually part owned, I believe, by the Saudi royal family. So basically they're anticipating a recovery in demand and thus they're starting to raise output for their oil. So that's quite interesting to check out there. Okay, so we're going to do a countdown, guys. So diving into stock number 2 is Verizon, ticker symbol VZ. So Verizon is a telecommunications conglomerate and a corporate component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So this is a really established company. The company was founded back in 1983. Current revenue around $131 billion. So this is a real big player in the telecommunications industry. With an amazing dividend of around 5%, 4.44% on that dividend, $234 billion market cap, so massive market cap again. This is a huge company. It was around $58 per share. It did plummet by around 13% during the March-April 2020 crash, and then it did increase, as we can see here. It increased by around 20%, but then it has been steadily declining again by around 8%. Now, so is Verizon stock still a buy? Is Buffett going to be right on this one? Or is it a stock which is on the decline? Well, here's a little bit more information about this stock and why it may have a trick up its sleeve. So Verizon could actually be a major play on 5G. So according to this article here, Verizon is about to connect with both customers and investors in a profound way. As more customers upgrade to 5G compatible devices, it should start to upload returns from its investment into 5G. So Verizon has done a huge investment into 5G technologies, and that should benefit the company as we start to adopt 5G. So Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T have formed an oligopoly in the US for this essential service. As more individuals and businesses and gadgets switch to using the 5G networks, which is basically the super fast data, Verizon stockholders should continue to download steady, significant returns for investors. So perhaps their dividend is not under threat. So Verizon has gone all in on 5G. Such bets are typically considered risky, as most investment advisors will tell you it's better to diversify. However, this may be a time when going against conventional wisdom actually makes sense, especially for Buffett. This is what's called a slow grower, this company. So if we look at the growth rate, it's actually been slightly negative. Very stable cash flows, very stable revenues, very stable profits. This is what you can expect from a company like this. It's not really a fast growth company, but if you can just maintain this between 130 to $140 billion in revenue each and every year, keep supplying that 5% dividend to its shareholders and growing that dividend, then that can be a great stock for many people in their portfolio, especially those close to retirement who want that income coming in from those dividends. So diving into some metrics here, the revenues forecast to increase for 2021-2022, as is net income, as is earnings per share. So that's all positive there. Analyst consensus on Verizon, 18 holds, so that's quite surprising. A lot of holds there. 6 buy, 4 a strong buy. So we've got people here from Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, Wells Fargo. Current ratio, so this is the short-term cash, short-term debt of the company. So basically, I look for a current ratio of at least 1.5 to 2. 1.38 is not too bad for a profitable, free cash flow generating company. So basically, that's your cash on your balance sheet compared to the short-term debt, which is that due within the next 12 months. Return on equity is 27%, which is fantastic, as is return on capital. And this is what Warren Buffett loves. Warren Buffett loves low valuations, and that is what must be stated about Mr. Buffett. Price to free cash flow, just 10, so you're paying 10 times the company's free cash flow. Free cash flow is the key metric you need to look at with any stock. Price to earnings ratio, yes, this company has earnings. This is not some growth stock, this young company. This is an established company of just 10. So you're paying just 10 times the company's earnings, the company's profits. So fantastic valuation, fantastic dividend, potential growth with the 5G space. So definitely an interesting one if you want more of an established company in your portfolio. And finally, stock number 1 that Warren Buffett has been buying over the past few months, and that is Marsh & McLean Companies. Ticker symbol MMC on the New York Stock Exchange. The company has a market cap of $59 billion, so one of the smallest on this list for Mr. Buffett. Dividend yield 1.58%, so another strong dividend stock. So if we dive into what this company does, so this is a global professional services firm headquartered in New York City with businesses in the insurance brokerage, risk management, and reinsurance services. Buffett is pretty much an expert on the insurance industry. He owned Geico, which is a massive insurance player. The share price was around $118 in February 2020, plummeted during the crash by 35%, and then is now increased by around 52%. Let's dive into some numbers for this company. We're here back on Stockopedia. So this is the platform I use to analyze stocks. If you guys wish to check out this platform and see if it fits your investing style, I've actually got an exclusive 25% off discount link. I'll leave a link for that in the description below if you want to check it out and see if it fits your investing style. So on Stockopedia, every stock is given a stock rank. So here, this company has a stock rank of 73, momentum 57, value 55, and quality 85. So growth for this company, the company's averaged around 5% growth over the past few years, which isn't too bad considering the company also pays a nice healthy dividend. And balance sheet, current ratio 1.25, not too bad for a profitable company. Let's look at some metrics here. So we've got revenues forecast to increase to around $20 billion by 2022, as is net income, as is earnings per share. Analyst consensus, Deutsche Bank, Credit Suisse, Morgan Stanley, 12 hold, 2 sell, and 5 buy. Return on capital, 11.6%, which is very good, as is return on equity, 23.6%. Price to sales, 3.38. Price to earnings, 21.3. PEG ratio, 0.9. So this PEG ratio, which is the price to earnings growth ratio, which basically means, are you paying fair value for the growth in this company? Anything below 1 is good. So 0.9 to me, that's still a value play. It's still a value stock at the moment. So interesting company. It's got a nice healthy dividend. It's got a little bit of growth, 5-6%. Definitely could be an interesting one if you want some stability in your portfolio and you want some of those dividends. So just a quick video today, guys. Let me know if you want me to dive into the other stocks in Warren Buffett's portfolio, and I'll be happy to do that on a separate video. If you did find any value in this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. That helps out tremendously with the YouTube AI. If you're new around here and you still haven't subscribed, feel free to join the investing family by hitting that subscribe button and turning that notification bell on. And if you do want to know exactly which stocks I'm buying, which stocks I'm selling, and access my entire investment portfolio, and join a thriving community of exceptional people in the VIP membership group, then feel free to check out that first link in the description below for the VIP membership group. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an incredible day, and I'll see you in my next video. Invest safe.